helping people with this gift to understand how much of a gift it is and to propel their life forward with it. So please get on your feet and help me welcome to the stage the one and only Coach Willie Blake.
Thank you. Oh, I'm loving this energy. Marianne is 100% right. Who in the world told the dyslexic community that dyslexia was going to be the word used to define it? Worst thing in the world. I want to hear from each of you. By a raise of hands, how many of you have wanted something in your life but felt like something invisible was holding you back? And then how many of you have ever felt like you had to be quiet? Not because you didn't know the answer to something, but because someone else's opinion got in your way. And by a raise of hands, how many of you have ever had this thought in your life that you should be further than you are today? I'm with you. And I've realized those are not just feelings, those are chains that hold us back. And today we're going to break them. I'm Coach Willie Blake. I am the Dyslexic Performance Coach. I help entrepreneurs and professionals to not only cope with their dyslexia, but to be able to win with it through crystal clear planning on their specific strengths and focused, consistent action. Let me take you on a journey back to the first grade. In the first grade, we were all sitting down. And I remember teacher told us to stand up and all of us to walk down the hallway to a classroom that we're going to do an activity in. So all of us first graders were pushing the other kids, and teachers are yelling at us. And we finally get there, and the teacher asks us to stand up against the wall, so we do, and wait our turn for our name to be called. And so as the teacher went in, obviously as us first graders, we want to know what the heck's going on. So what we do is we peek around the corner, and we see several tables that are sitting there. Little did I realize that that was the test, that if you failed, you got something. That was the test I learned that day of when I was diagnosed with dyslexia. And I realized that that label that they told me that I had would be a challenge in my life. Fast forward to later that year, me and my friends are running around the playground playing tag, and I got picked, and I had a little crush in the first grade. Her name was Hannah, and so obviously I had to go tag her. So I was running around tagging her, and Hannah did the best thing in the world, which was jump up on the playground to get away from me. Unbeknownst to me, I know, big word for dyslexic. Unbeknownst to me, as I went, my foot caught on something, and my hand went down as I fell to the ground, and I swiped Hannah's pants down. Yeah, talk about embarrassing. And so Hannah and her friend ran inside, and while they ran inside, I sat there wondering, wow, this is kind of embarrassing, but I don't think I did anything wrong. Like, it was a mistake. Until the teachers came out. And one of those teachers, you know the teachers, the one that have the glasses, and be like, did you whippersnapper? Did you, little kid, first grader, did you pull down her pants? And me being innocent said, yeah. And without being able to say anything else, the teacher grabbed me by the arm, pulled me up, took me inside the classroom, and I couldn't have recess the rest of the day. And I remember the one thing that I learned from that, and it still stuck with me, which is my opinion doesn't matter. And I need to stay quiet. And this continued going on over to where I'd be sitting in the classroom ready to answer a question the teacher had. And I'd get the answer. 10, 15 seconds go by. And I wouldn't raise my hand. To where another student would raise their hand and give the exact same answer that I gave. And I'd think in my head, Willie, why didn't you answer? You are so dumb. Continued going forward to where I was sitting in a room full of entrepreneurs. And I felt so out of place. How many of you have ever felt out of place in a room before? It's not a good feeling, right? As I was sitting there, listening to these entrepreneurs and business owners laughing, sharing resources and connections, all I could sit there and think was, this this isn't me. I feel so out of place. And my inner thoughts started creeping in. And they told me, Willie, you're not good enough. Willie, there's no reason for you to raise your voice. Willie, you better get out of there or else you're going to feel like a fraud. And they're going to find out you're a fraud. And as I sat there, these emotions kept arising, and I was wondering what the heck was going on, and I started getting angry with everything that was going on. I'm like, I have a dream, I have a goal, I want something. Why is it that I'm the one that's left behind? I have this dumb dyslexia that when I was walking in high school with my friends to class, they would walk over to honors class, and so I would stand there being the dumb kid, to where I'd have to walk 3 doors back and go to a classroom to where no one wanted to be in there, no one enjoyed it, and I felt like the odd duckling. And these emotions started to rise as I was in that room. And I'm like, I want something more. I'm not left behind. I'm not this below average kid. All I want to do is just get out there and share my message. Like I felt like chains were just shackled to me. And all I wanted to do is break free. But I can't. And I never will. That was the thoughts that I've had. How many of you have ever had those thoughts before? Most of us. They're not comfortable at all. And so reminiscing on this and thinking back to these emotions, I thought of that this wasn't just one thing that stopped me, but instead it was 12 different chains that were holding me down. Now, I won't be able to share all 12 with you today. But I have 3 chains, and I've named them. If I were to tell you the 3 chains, the names of them, and how to break them, who would find value in that? Awesome. Grab your pens, grab your papers. This is the part where you want to write down, because I'm going to share with you the 3 chains that hold us back and how to break them. The first one, number 1, the words, I don't know. I don't know is one of the most subtle yet dangerous phrases that you'll ever know. Because when you say, I don't know, that means that you stop. Your brain stops thinking subconsciously, and it makes a decision of undecision. Christy, I want your help. You can stay right there. You and I are hanging out. We have like an awesome concert, and we're just having a good old time. Then it's time for dinner, and we're getting hungry. I want you to ask me, what do you want for dinner? Yeah, I don't know. Right? It stops the conversation. Thank you for helping. It stops the conversation. When we say, I don't know, we make the decision to just not do something. When we say, I don't know to our dreams, do we go toward them? Do we go toward them? No. When we say no to the things that we want and say no to getting engaged, or going on a date, or say no to the money that is just right in front of you, if we say, I don't know, are we going to get it? No. And so a great way that I found to break this is to add a single word, which is the word but. Now, I'm not talking about your derriere. I'm talking about the letters B-U-T, but. I don't know, but let's try to figure this out. I don't know, but here are 3 meal options that we can do. I don't know, but let's just try it out anyways. When we add that word onto it, we continuously move our thoughts forward. And if you want to be a pro, then you can do this as well. I learned this from the wonderful Marianne Hickman when I saw her at a Keynote 5 years ago. And the phrase is, and if you did know, what would it be? If you did know, what would it be? Because when you ask someone who says, I don't know, but if you did know, what would it be? Then they start thinking in, starts getting those creative juices going. First chain is, I don't know. The second chain, what others think. Now, this isn't new to anyone. We talk about judgment. We talk about what other people think all of the time. But it's a chain that has been holding us down. Because when we care about what others think, we stop listening to ourselves, right? When we care about what others think, we stop listening to who? Ourselves. So if we want to start listening to ourselves again, sometimes we need to get people out of the picture. And not in the bad way. I want you to do a visualization activity with me. Don't need to close your eyes for this one. But what I want you to do is think of someone who has held you back in your life. Maybe this is as a kid. Maybe this is more recent. Think of that someone who has held you back in your life. Now I want you to think, what would happen if that person just vanished? Just vanished out of your life? What would you start doing? It's something to think about. Because sometimes we don't realize that we care so much about what other people think. And sometimes we don't even know that it's the person that holds us back, that it's one of our loved ones. That is someone that we cared about, maybe spent our entire life with so far. Does that mean that we need to push them away and that they need to vanish? No. It just simply means, if that's the case, that you start adding individuals back into your life who start to empower you and start to push you past that limitation, break through that barrier into the life that you are starting to want. Number 2 is what others think. Back to number 1. What's number 1? Oh, right, but if you did know, what would it be? Yes, number 1 is I don't know. Number 2 is what others think. Then number 3, this is very personal to me. What I think. Get it? What I think. One of my favorite phrases that I love. And I want you to listen to this deeply, because if you're dyslexic like me, you might get a little confused. So I'll repeat it. The phrase is, I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think that you think I am. Take a second. I am who I think that you think that I am. A lot of times we don't need other people to be our worst critic because we're our worst critic inside of us already. And it's a hard thing when we are that way, when we are a frenemy or the worst stepsister, right? It's hard when us ourselves are trying to go after a goal, and we're going and we're wanting to achieve it and we're almost there and it's just right there. But what if I can't do it? What if when I get there, it's going to be hard? And we start going away from it. What if there's fear? What if I get anxiety? What if? But this time I want you to use the what if in a different way. So everyone, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Hand out. And take a deep breath in. And while your eyes are closed and you can breathe out, do it slowly. As you're thinking about this, I want you to think about, what if it worked? What if the dream that you had came to you in the best way possible? What if you didn't have any limitations on resources, connections, money, or time, and didn't care about what anyone thought? What is it that you would do? Who would you hang out with? What does your bank account look like? Who are you influencing? And how much energy and passion do you have throughout every day, every time you wake up? You can all open your eyes now. These are real. They've just been covered by years and years of leaves, of anxiety, of fear, of what we think. They are the chains that hold us back in limitation. So whenever you get into the moment to where you yourself are doubting yourself, I want you to start breaking free. I want you to start thinking in your head things that you can do, not things that you can't. I want you to think of things that you can do and not what? Because when you think of the things that you can, you start taking actions that way. Number 3 is what I think. What's number 3? What I think. Back to number 1. What's number 1? Right, but if you didn't, I'm joking. I don't know. What's number 2? What others think. And number 3? What I think. Now, I'm not huge into motivation. I'm more into transformation. And so when I go over these 3, I know that these aren't just the 3, because there are 12 that are in there. How many of you, if I were to create a resource that didn't even only just have these 3, but had all 12, the names of them and how to break free and shatter those chains, who would find that valuable? Awesome. That was the same answer that I found from many people as well. So, I created it for you. I created an ebook just for each of you, and it has a lot of pictures because I'm dyslexic and I like pictures. So, this is my QR code. Go ahead and scan it. This is the book, Break Free. 12 limitations that hold us back and how to break them. When you get this, it'll send you a page where you put your information, and then it can send you directly the ebook to your email. That way you do not leave today without a reminder about you breaking free from those chains. And for those of you who aren't huge into QR codes and love putting the URL in, I got that. I got you. I got that for you. And while there's a minute to be able to do that, let me finish what happened in that room of entrepreneurs. As all those emotions arised, I felt devastated. But then, in front of the room, there was a keynote speaker. And the speaker said one question that changed my life. Do you want to know what that was? Yeah. Do you want to know what it was? Yeah. That question was, who's ready to level up their life? And I felt, through all the emotions, through everything, I felt this spark inside. I felt something ignite, and just like an automatic reaction, I shot my hand up. Because with everything going on, at the barest of minimum, I had an inner desire. My friends, that desire became dedication. That dedication became discipline. I went from reading 1 book to 50 books in a year. I went from being shy on stages to starting a podcast and then being on stages inspiring people like this. I went from struggling with writing to being a part of 10 best-selling books. I started a business for dyslexics because I struggle with it myself. I don't want them just to cope. I want them to win with it. Who else wants to win? I want each of you to stand up. We're finishing strong. Stand up. And what's going to happen is you're going to use the word break free. I'm going to say a statement to you, and you're going to say and reply with break free. You ready? Okay. When fear whispers. I want it louder. When fear whispers. When challenges arise. When others hold you back. When you hold you back. When your future and your dreams are calling for you, you wanna? My friends, ignite your fire, light up this world, and together we are all going to break free.